everybody, to the RevMatch podcast, the
Hello
automotive
there.
podcast where we're back with Jeff. He drives expensive shit, and we like to live vicariously through him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
100%.
Right. He's like our
Awesome.
like spirit animal, like peak degeneracy. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, but he's got some shit going on, so we're gonna see what's going on with him. Obviously, touch on some other shit in the car world, and just do the thing that we do. But how's everybody doing tonight, boys? Anything fun happened today? Huh? Anything? No.
I got one thing fun that happened today.
What happened today, Timmy?
his
Tell me
name?
what happened to Timmy.
10,000 miles ago, I had metal in my oil filter. Today, there's 0 oil in my metal filter. Tell me how that works, Alex. Or Kyle. Kyle, tell me how
No,
it works.
I love that he said there's 0 oil in my metal filter.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because what my brain heard was you finally blew the car up. Is what my brain heard when you said.
It's like, yes! No,
Yeah, it
unfortunately,
finally happened.
there's still oil in it.
Yeah,
But there is no metal in my recent oil filter. So
You just-
where did the
it's-
metal go?
yeah, it healed, bro. It healed itself.
Gone.
Right. That's it.
You never heard of the self-healing engine?
Right.
I don't
No, not yet.
That's that.
Was that
new one.
additive you poured into it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yes.
Marvel's mystery oil.
It's vibranium. Or what's in
Fuck.
Wolverine? What's adamantium?
Adamantium,
Yeah.
unobtainium.
Fuck.
Isn't vibranium the
right.
shit they make vibrators out of? This is a joke,
Hey.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Not a dick. Don't choke on it.
Jesus. You want to talk about it?
Jeez. Fuck. No.
Coming in hot as fucking
Hey,
always.
let's go.
dude.
It's how we do it, baby.
That's how it goes.
All right, before we get started with Jeff, Kyle, why don't you hit us with a random fact to start the show off, sir?
Random fact: on average, we'll say an average car typically contains over 30,000 parts.
It is a random fact.
That is a random fact, and God, that makes
Holy
me
shit.
that like stresses me out.
4,000 of which are not covered under warranty.
But here's the silver lining. When you put your engine back together, and there's 4 missing bolts, that's actually you did a pretty good job.
That's good
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
is
good
a good
percentage.
job.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good percentage.
29,996 out of 30,000 is
Right.
pretty
Pretty
all right. So,
Good
you know,
ratio.
exactly, and they come with extra bolts anyway. It's like IKEA, Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Just in case you need one.
As Zach just said, I did it better than the manufacturer. I did it with fewer parts.
Absolutely. Fuel parts, baby.
Let's add
I
lightness.
saved you this $8.65.
You see what
right?
you wasted? Do you see what you wasted?
I saved you 8 grams on the overall weight. That's pure performance, dude.
Hey, Porsche
Fucking
would be
genius.
proud.
Porsche would be
Exactly.
proud. That would have cost them 50 grand. I did that shit for like 20 bucks, 3 bucks a knuckles and a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go,
Damn
baby.
straight.
It was
Oh
easy.
shit, changing lives. Anyway, Jeff, what's up, man? How you been, dude? Tell us about yourself.
I've
How
been
you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. Just, out there hustling, grinding, doing the thing. Like the mortgage industry and real estate is kind of crumbling. So
No.
just trying to yeah, it is. And it sucks because I have super expensive hobbies. And
Wait, one.
so
No.
I'm
Sounds
Yeah.
so not like you.
I know. Well, they've gotten more expensive. It's gotten a lot more expensive. So
So yeah, let's talk
Um,
about that. You last time you came on, you were selling the GTR because you had purchased the R8,
yes.
and then you shortly thereafter
Yes.
sold the GTR. But
Correct.
now
Yeah,
I see that you were trying to sell the R8.
Yeah. So let's kind of do a little rewind. So back when I was trying to sell the GTR and I was on the podcast then, you guys had recommended putting the car on Bring a Trailer, and they actually rejected my car.
What?
Yeah, they rejected
What?
the GTR. Yeah, I had applied, because you can't just put it on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah.
You have to
Right.
apply.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were like, unfortunately, I was like, I'm not even reading the rest of the email.
Mm-mm. That's fucking bullshit.
Delete.
Yeah. So
Bullshit.
That's fucking ridiculous. The amount of
was.
nonsense, garbage, fucking horsecock cars that I've seen on Bring a Trailer. and they
Okay,
wouldn't
right.
take the GTR.
That's
Fucking
that's what I'm
A.
saying. I'm like this car is super unique, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And so I got lucky though. I ended up selling my car to a dealership that actually at the same time bought my buddy's GTR. So they picked up 2 GTRs in like one transaction. So it
Legit.
worked out. So the GTR has been gone now for a while, and I've been daily driving the R8, and that's been an experience all on its own because I mean, well, first of all, driving an R8 in general is it's a whole lot of fun. It's a completely different car than the GTR. My R8 being twin turbo, I was kind of having some issues here and there with the car, and I don't recall the exact month I was on the podcast, so I don't recall like what I've gone through with the car since
You
we
had
kind
like
of talked
just
about it.
gotten it. You had like literally
Just gotten
just
it, but I know
gotten it.
you were having like tuning issues and stuff with it, and it was getting
I
ready to go
remember
back
that, too.
down there or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, it was going down there because the turbo blew.
Okay.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
noise, the little whistling
Oh,
noise.
that's right.
Yeah. So the turbo blew. It took 5 weeks for Sheepy Race to get transport to pick up the car, and then the car sat at Sheepy Race for quite a few months. While they took care of the warranty replacement of the turbo, and then when the car was ready, I finally got the car back. I think the car was gone. I want to say for about 3 months just to replace a turbo,
Shit.
That's
and
a lot.
That's
yeah,
a
it
long
was a
time.
long time. It was definitely a long time, and I was having tuning issues with the car. So I was, talking to Sheepy Race, and I was like, let's make sure we get a good tune going. So the cool thing is when they had first built my car, it was running a Unitronics tune. And the way Unitronics works is it just puts a flash essentially over the ECU. There's no like piggyback ECU. There's no dongle. There's no nothing. Yeah, it's just a flash. It tricks the ECU into reading like different values, right? And that was kind of the problem my car was having.
Right.
So,
okay.
so the cool thing is Sheepy Race upgraded my car to DS1 free of charge, which was, that was pretty awesome because that's like a few $1,000 upgrade plus the tuning and all of that stuff. So that was awesome. And DS1 is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Ecutech or things like that, but it's
I
just
know
like a dongle.
Ecutech,
It plugs, yeah,
Mhm.
it plugs into the OBD2 port and you can access it from your phone. And so when he did that and I got the car back, I was expecting the car to be like perfect, and it was never perfect. And it was always throwing check engine lights, like little misfires here and there, and like O2 sensors reading lean conditions, and it's kind of frustrating. So actually, just last week, literally 1 week ago, I was at Sheepy Race and I got the car retuned on their dyno, and the car put down 755 horsepower, and now the car drives totally different. It's way better. It's like everything it's supposed to be, and I absolutely love it.
Is
It's been like the
is
awesome.
yours all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
They're
all-wheel
all
drive.
all-wheel drive, right? Aren't they?
No, you
No,
can get the
Yeah.
V10 with a rear-wheel drive.
Drive, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Yeah, it's called the rear wheel drive series, and they make much fewer of those. But it's cool because, like, if you ever see someone whipping donuts in an R8, it's most likely
A rear-wheel
rear
drive
wheel
one.
drive.
Unless they're
Yeah.
trying to ruin their transmission,
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fine.
I did whip
He
donuts
said that like
in
been
my
there exactly.
I've
I
been there. It's fine.
yeah. I whipped donuts in my R8 just a couple weeks after I got it, but I did it in the snow, so it was,
Oh, it's
slightly better
fine. Yeah,
conditions.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
where it
That's
wants
sick.
to be. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
So the car feels totally put together.
Yeah, so it was before it was like when you would give it gas, it didn't feel like it was always boosting, and it just didn't have that throw your head back initial pull, right? And after
Dude, I
throwing
hate
it
when
on
my
their
STI does shit like that. It's totally the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Do you
I don't
know how many pounds of torque are you pushing?
Low as fuck.
it's like 538, I think is the exact number.
To the wheel?
Beautiful.
Shit.
Yeah, to the wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
That feels
Yeah.
nice.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a lot of power. Like that doesn't like I
Yeah.
know in the realm of like tuned R8s that doesn't sound like a lot, like but like that's a fast fucking car. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
motherfucker's
Oh, yeah.
moving. So damn.
Well, what's cool about these cars too, them being a V10, it's a 5.2 liter V10, so the pistons are a little bit smaller than like a 5.2 liter V8, so it also produces much less torque. So getting that torque
Yeah.
number up to 530, almost 540, it makes a huge difference. I mean, the car is pushing probably probably 300, 350 more torque than the stock and how they come stock.
It's a
And
lot.
so is that
Yeah.
a tune? Is that an E85 tune?
No, 91.
Do
Good
you know how much
Yo,
horsepower you'd have on 85?
Yeah.
You're making 750 wheel on shit California
Is
pump
there an
gas?
option
Yeah.
for an
Fucking
E85
let's
on that
go,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 900 horsepower probably right there. Just fucking
Oh
boom.
yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah.
my
Yeah.
god!
I
Yeah.
mean,
Holy
that's
shit!
probably 750 pounds of torque.
Yeah,
God
it'll
damn!
go. Yeah, it'll do 1,000 horsepower on E85.
How much is
my
the E85
God.
setup? I'm sure it's not cheap, but like, what are we
Yeah, so
talking?
if it was cheap, I would have done it.
It's probably
So
realistically, it's the cost of E85ing like an RS3 twice. Actually, if I try to figure out the way the parts list on that, it's probably what it is.
yeah, that's. I mean, it is literally throwing E85 on an RS3 twice.
Yeah. That's just not
So
cheap.
I think you can get them installed. So keep in mind, like I look at prices for having them installed because I purchased my car from Sheepy Race with their kit. I want to maintain my warranty, so I have them do all the work. So they
Absolutely.
can never
fuck yeah.
say.
Yeah, that makes total
Yeah.
sense though.
Yeah.
So
fuck
it's
yeah, I do the same shit.
about 12,000 to get the fuel system and the tune for E85.
That is not bad. For that number in horsepower, that is not bad.
Well, I mean, you got to think about how deep he's in already.
Well,
right?
yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
Right.
thing,
I
bro.
Yeah.
know, but you know, when you're
Yeah.
in that game,
You do have a point in the realm of how much more you would get out of the car.
So
Yeah.
the like,
That's
let's
not terrible, but
if we put it into
Yeah.
let's put it into the worst possible common denominator always, which is the Subaru STI in terms of money per horsepower. $12,000 gets you from 285 wheel to 405 wheel. He's talking about going from
Yeah.
750 wheel to 1,000 wheel. That is
Yeah.
much more. That's a much better
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
to compare it to your realm of car, the Porsche X51 package costs $16,000 and got you like 40 horsepower.
yeah, dude, this shit was
Like,
stupid.
It was pointless, like absolutely pointless, and people bought that shit.
Because
Yeah.
Porsche people are
I gotta-
Porsche
I gotta-
people, but
There was a dumber one who literally, and I'd love this customer to death, and they fucked him on his build on his car, but he paid to have the X51 package put on the car after it was built.
Oh no!
I was there for that.
you would never.
I don't
catch
even want
me.
to tell you how much that
You
was.
would never
I'm
catch
not-
me.
It was disgusting.
Miss me with that bullshit. I'll just build
And
something else.
literally,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
40
Like-
horsepower. It was 40
Yeah,
horsepower.
I'll
We're
build
like,
something else. I'll build a whole other car.
Are
I'll
you
build a
sure?
fucking build.
Like-
Yeah,
I'll build a 600 wheel horsepower EG hatch instead of wasting my money on that shit. And I'll
Yes.
smoke every fucking 911 turbo out there, man. Fuck that shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
like it was. I felt bad for him, but like he wanted it. We're like, okay, there
Ugh.
you go.
So wait, is this why like the sale of the R8, like it was like you were doing it and then it seemed like you were pushing it hard for a second and then I didn't really see anything else about it for a minute. Is because you were getting it all dialed in and stuff? Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah, so I was getting it dialed in because I can't, with a good conscience, sell a car that just throws multiple check engine lights
Yeah.
for no
Yeah.
reasons, right? So I had to make sure that it was dialed in, and now I feel much more confident. So I'm definitely going to be pushing the sale. But you know, now the reason for the sale is because
Yeah.
I recently picked up a Huracan, and that's
Woo!
yeah, that's super
Mhm.
scary, super scary because
What model did you get?
it's a 2002 Huracan Evo Spider rear-wheel drive.
Nice
dope.
Spider.
Damn.
Is that a manual transmission?
Wait, a
It is
2002?
No.
I'm sorry, 12.
12, I know
that's
what
a
you meant.
Gallardo. Okay, so you got to
No,
okay. So
2000
yeah, so
2022.
Is it?
Okay.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
that's
Huracan
what's that.
Evo Spider. You said rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's fucking tight. Hell yeah.
Is it in the garage? Can you turn around your computer and shit?
No, so here's the thing. I didn't buy the car to drive it. I bought the car as
Oh,
an
yeah, for your
investment.
company. Yeah.
Yeah, to rent it out. So the car's in New York. I've never even seen the car ever, like in person, ever. Not one time.
What?
I'll never
Crazy.
drive it.
That's
probably.
wild.
Hold the
Yeah.
fuck up. So
So you purchased. Alex,
Yes.
continue. You continue.
So like brain no survey. So like you bought the car. I'm assuming under
Yeah.
a company. I'm assuming did you onboard that risk personally?
So I haven't transferred it to an LLC yet. I still have to create the LLC, but I'm in like
Okay.
the super early stages, the baby stages of the company. So I
Right.
haven't done the LLC yet, but it's coming. The LLC is coming.
It's sometimes that's difficult to try to purchase like your first business purchase to be something like that anyway to try to get the loan hung. So
Right.
that's not surprising whatsoever.
Right.
But like, so is somebody managing the vehicle?
Yeah.
Did you like buy
Yeah.
into
So
like a thing or like how does that work?
yeah. So I got this, idea. So my idea with like just toys, grown up toys, cars, whatever it is, has always been like, how can I own this for free, essentially, right?
Yep.
And so I started thinking like, okay, well, what can I do? How can I acquire cars and basically own them for free? And then I was like, you know what? I think an exotic car rental business would be the way that I wanted to go because I've thought about doing car sales, exotic car sales, but you got to have way more capital to buy the cars,
Yeah,
and it's
foreign
just
costs
not
and
a road I
Right.
everything
want to go
else.
down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Plus,
right.
like, I want to be able to drive the cars, and I don't want to like have my own like inventory. Like, I don't want to be driving my own inventory. So yeah, I was like, I think an exotic car rental business might actually be a lot of fun. And so because I said it out loud, my phone, literally, Instagram was like, "Here's an exotic car rental business,
Oh shit,
and
you
they're
got
looking to
fucked by
take
the
on." Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah.
Yep,
Well,
yep, yep.
Dude, I fucking hate our phones, I swear.
Fucking with the cell phones, man. Anyway.
yeah. But the cool thing about it though is after this ad, and it wasn't one ad, it was like multiple companies and multiple ads.
Yeah.
After seeing them for so long, I was like, fine, I'll click it. So I clicked it and I went through and I started looking at all these different ones, and there was one that stood out more than the others, and it was just because they had like a ton of cars, and their whole thing was like, we have more clients than cars, and we need cars. So I just kind of decided that was how I was going to make it happen. And so after kind of vetting them, I kind of went through this really long process, maybe like 9 months or so, maybe 7 to 9 months roughly, of like talking with them and really getting to learn about them and their business and how they do it and how everything is run. I realized it was probably going to work out. So, once that happened, then we were like, okay, well, I basically I had to buy into their company once we were at that point. So I bought into the company, and once I became a partner in the company, then it was like, all right, so which car is going to make the most money? And they were like, we need that Evo Spider. So I said, okay, well, let me see if I can get one because I've never tried to get
Get a
approved
new
for.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so I was able to qualify, and so um, car was in Florida, and it went from Florida. I didn't like throw down cash to buy the car. Like I definitely financed like
Yeah.
the majority of it, right? So
Yeah.
the car was acquired in Florida. It went from Florida to Southern California, where the finance company is, and that's where they smogged the car and put their load jack tracking device on the car. And then from there, it went from Southern California to New York, and it's been in New York ever since. So it's been
How
there for
much
about
money was spent taking that car from Florida to California to New York?
Right.
I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for it. The
Well, I
broker,
mean, that's fine. Just
yeah,
imagine.
I have no idea. Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, it cost me to ship the R8 from SoCal back to Northern California was like 800.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine the whole entire country.
I mean,
like,
it's
that's-
at least $6,000.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
more than
and
that.
a covered
It's
transport
more
for
than
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably like 8 to 10 right now.
that feels
Yeah,
excessive.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
Really?
mean,
It's fucking inflation right now, bro.
I mean,
guarantee it.
it was like $4,000 to go across the country. So if you're going across the country twice, you're looking at $7,000, $8,000.
That's wild because well, again, covered transport. Because when I got the SCI out here, it was $1,400, $1,500.
Damn, it cost him 3,500 from Cali
Cali
to
to
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Did you put that thing in
Yeah.
a covered? Did you put the Integra in a covered transport, Zach? Answer in the chat, please. I'm very curious.
I'm very curious.
I mean, I could see him doing it. That's why.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it should be. Is
That
the car
fucking
going
Integra-
across the
yeah.
country like that? It better be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his fucking Integra is super nice too. So, okay, so how does this work? I'm really curious as to like how you generate income from this because obviously from an outsider, it sounds like you bought a car and gave it to somebody, and like
Yeah, that's what I did, and that's
yeah.
it's literally like it's a really like frightening experience, but they actually have really good communication, and they have really good systems in place too, which which was really reassuring. And then after going through the motions and going through the process and seeing the systems, I definitely feel a lot better. But basically, I did acquire a Lamborghini, and I just gave it to him, literally, like without ever seeing the car or actually ever meeting them in person. I've never met them in person
That's
either.
fucking crazy.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
trust.
You
yeah.
could have been
Well, I
catfish for
know,
a whole ass Lambo. That's fucking wild.
I know, I know, I know. It is.
So
It's super wild. But like, go ahead.
I was so like, yeah, what is it, like a percentage based thing that you get?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so basically what it is they rent the car out, and every time the car gets rented out, they obviously let me know how many days, how much. We generally rent it typically, and it varies from month to month and season to season, especially with the car being a convertible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ever the
You're locking up.
is
You're
that me?
freezing. Yeah, it's you. Give it a second.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm back.
you're back.
It
You're back.
does appear to be back.
There
There we go.
Keep
We're
going.
doing
Keep
it.
going.
It's funny because it actually froze while he did that. That's great. You fucking asshole. Anyway, so they tell you how many days
I
it's
back?
been out and all that kind of stuff, right? And you get to know how long, and then so they're communicating with you. Oh, he did phrase again. We may have lost him.
Dude, that is wild.
It's
Didn't
funny.
even see it.
I can hear. I mean, you're speaking. We can hear you. If the video is behind, it's whatever. But yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you're moving.
Continue. You were gonna say. I think you were about to say how much you guys rent them out for, like depending on season or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, it's about $1,700 per day.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then the goal is usually 15 days out of the month. So everyone can do the math on that. And then
Well,
the company
usually when people rent it, how many days are they renting it for? Or do people literally rent it for one day and usually give it back?
Yeah. So let's see. So one guy, I believe he had already rented it. I think he rented it for 2 days. And it's only gone out
Mad as shit. I'd agree with you.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's only gone out those 2 days, and then sometimes people will rent these cars for a month. Sometimes they'll rent them for 3 months.
Wow.
So it just depends. But obviously, when they do it for a month, we don't say, okay, 1,700 times 30. That's what you pay. Like when they,
Yeah, you give them a
you
rate.
they get a rate. So, yeah, so the company takes basically 25% of the net profit. So after expenses, which is awesome, they take 25%, and then I'm left with 75%.
I mean, that doesn't suck. Like,
That's
And you don't really have to do anything.
yeah, I mean, if they're maintaining it,
Yeah.
they're cleaning it up, and
but
obviously,
I pay for all of that though, right? So like,
right, because it comes out of the gross, right?
Yeah, I literally just got a ticket in the mail for that car in New York.
Wow, that's a good start.
You have to cover that?
I don't know that yet. That was actually one thing that I didn't even think to discuss with them. And here's the thing, they didn't get pulled over. So I guess in New York, thank God we don't have this in California, there's a camera that tracked the car's speed, took a picture, and then sent a ticket. There was no cop involved whatsoever.
Oh no, they have those in California.
Hey,
Oh,
what?
they do?
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Thanks for letting me know.
You didn't know that shit?
Around here.
Zach's in the chat the first time Zach and ever made like a high speed San Fran to fucking LA and back run for a Week Fest fucking car show at Fort Mason. He got popped for a speeding ticket coming out of fucking Japantown in San Francisco. Camera. We got back to fucking the hood, and 3 weeks later he gets a letter in the mail for a $500 speeding ticket. Just a photo of him going through a light.
What?
Yep. It's like, hey, you were speeding, get fucked. And that was the end of it.
Damn. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you also renting your RS5, or do you guys still have that?
Yeah, so I still have the RS5. I rent that out on Turo. That's been going pretty good. I'd like there to be more rental days. Like I'd like to have more people rent it out. I maybe get like 1 or 2 per month, which is cool because it like supplements, it basically offsets the monthly payment on that car.
Right.
Otherwise it literally just sits there. Like nobody really drives it.
It's
I'll
one of
drive it.
those, yeah, that's one of those like that's one
Yeah.
of those weird cars, right? Like that's not like it's like an RS5 is a car you buy, but it's not a car you rent. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you rent a car, you rent a car for 3 reasons: utility, I need a truck for this project; 2, straight
Yeah.
up conveyance, right? I'm just in town for a bit and I just need to get around; or 3, I want to rent something fucking cool. And when you get to number 3,
An
RS5 is probably
RS5 is
that,
not it. It's a
right?
911 Lamborghini, Audi
It's the
R8.
other shit
Yeah.
you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like
but that depends on the price too. Like I rent the car out
that's
for
fair.
150 bucks a day.
It's a lot
An
of car
R8
for
is like at
150 bucks
least
a day.
400 a day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 444 horsepower for 150 bucks. Come on.
It's
No,
really not that bad.
it's not a bad deal. So
Yeah,
that was your pivot out of mortgages, huh? Was to get into exotic rentals. I think that's not a
Yeah.
terrible idea. It's
That's-
funny because
Yeah.
it's when you first, because I'd watch your Instagram and I'd see like I could see what you were kind of getting up to, just like reading your stories and looking at your stories and shit. And I'm like, I've heard horror stories about running an exotic car rental business, like
Yeah.
ground up,
Yeah.
top to bottom, day-to-day operations. And I was like, yo, this is some like, I'm like, if my boy is really trying to hop into some shit, this is some deep shit to hop into. You know what I'm saying? Like you're really going balls deep. But
Yeah.
the way that you're
Yeah.
doing it, I think you removed yourself from a lot of the headache other than the
Yeah.
speeding tickets. But it's just like, hey, I bought a thing profit. It's almost like it's just like a rental property, right? It's like literally like you bought a house
Yeah.
to Airbnb and you hired somebody to manage it and you're just like cashing in on the
Yeah.
side, you know? And
Yeah, exactly. So that was the analogy. So, I being in mortgage and real estate, I have a ton of friends and peers and colleagues who do the whole Airbnb thing. And
right.
they're always talking about how like lucrative of a business it can be. And when you think about it, it really can. But you have to buy a property, right? So we're talking like 5, 6, $700,000 asset that you have to purchase, and then you rent it out for maybe $200-300 a night, maybe $500 a night, right? So the thing I like about the exotic car rental business is you're buying a cheaper asset and renting it out for significantly more per day.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
ROI
that's a
is
really good
is
point.
much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
probably level out on that Lambo way before you level out on a house.
I'm sorry. How much is
exactly.
a Huracan Evo Spider? Is that a 300K car?
Yeah, it's 345.
Okay. I
Was
want you,
was this a car that was just already at a dealer in Florida where like you were
Yeah.
looking for a specific one, like specific color?
Well, you
No,
can't
no
really
color.
get like
No.
you can't get like STOs or Technicas or anything like that right now, right? Unless they
I
had
don't
them
think
there.
so.
are
Right,
they,
It's
unless
like
they're already there. Yeah.
yeah, or is that like, do they do the Ferrari thing where it's like you had to have purchased a different Lambo before you have the pleasure of buying this
no.
Lambo? No?
No, they're
Now
not
it's just
douchebags.
availability.
Yeah. It's fucking, yeah. I fucking hate that shit. That is the most,
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, when I did go to test drive that new Ferrari a couple weeks ago, the dude that took me on the drive was a total snob, and he was definitely kind of a douche.
Naturally.
the worst thing about Ferraris are the owners.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the truth. It's the fucking truth. That and Enzo, but he's fucking
Yeah.
dead, so
I
whatever.
mean, he was a
Yeah.
Ferrari
Um,
employee. He was like a track instructor for Ferrari, and he was just so cool, you know.
The reality
Right.
is, the man knew you had no money and you weren't going to buy this fucking car. That's why you were shooting with him. Don't
That's
even
true.
try.
There's no, yeah, you probably
You
rolled
showed up in
up.
your Audi S3, fucking that
That's
hell
You
four,
showed
yeah.
up.
bitch.
You
That's
showed
Like the
up in
four.
some
PS1,
fucking.
you showed up
Yes.
in the S4. You still had no chance.
This fool rolled up. No, I know exactly how Timmy rolled
With the
up. He
cracked
rolled up.
windshield and all. Fuck
No,
no,
he
you
rolled
ain't
up
got no
in
chance.
some beat Nike SBs, some baggy fucking jeans, and what looks to be his dad's polo, and went to go drive a fucking
I'm
Ferrari.
nice. I'm very nice.
The
Like
Ferrari.
you had a customer that had a 911 turbo and an Audi S4, so don't even give me that shit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
Anyway.
Saying, you know.
So are you purely? So I understand buy the Huracan, but So are you selling the R8 to buy another car?
No, I'm selling the R8 to supplement, to replenish the funds that I used to buy into the company and then purchase the Huracan. Like it was a lot of capital, a lot more than I had wanted, but I was like, look, I see the value here.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, so I'm selling the R8. I'm also selling the RS5 too. And then I'm looking at picking up the Nissan Z.
Yeah.
Only gonna cost you six
Yes.
figures. Only cost you
Yeah.
6 figures. No big deal for a $50,000 car.
No, I actually, so I'll read you. So I had reached out to my buddy who works at, he worked at Nissan, and then when he left Nissan, he hooked me up with someone, and I had reached out. Let me see. I'm trying to find this. Let's see here.
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah, perfect
Tell
time for
me
you to
he's
be
in a
looking for an
gazebo.
emo. I don't know. He was been fighting a pit bull for like the last hour, so let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, he's in a
Gazebo!
gazebo.
You're
live. Jamal, Jeff, Jamal.
You act like I go anywhere else.
Yeah, we
That's
know.
right.
You
That's
got
right.
like 4
Yeah,
houses, 4 rooms,
Right.
you know.
got 4 houses and 7 gazebos. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up,
Oh,
Jeff? Sorry, I'm
that's cool.
late.
You got a Lambo. That's tight. You see this beautiful thing I got around me here? Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'd be fucking with. Anyway, Jeff was just discussing that he's looking to pick up a Z for his new exotic rental business, and we were joking that it's going to cost him 6 figures, and apparently he has an in because he has a letter that somebody wrote him. So we were going to read it for the group. Jeff, you have the floor.
Yeah. So first of all, just to correct, it's not for the exotic car rental business.
for
the
you.
Z is for me, and also it's my YouTube car. It's gonna be my
Okay,
next
but-
YouTube car.
okay,
Right.
I like it.
Right.
I'm here.
So
I support
our
it.
RS5 will be gone. R8 will be gone, and then I'll just have the family car, which is the SQ7, the Huracan, which is the exotic car rental, and then my YouTube daily driver, which will be the Z. So I reached out to my buddy literally like I want to say like a year and a half ago when all the talks were going on about the new Z, and he was like, "Oh yeah, bro, I got you. Like as soon as like this car is ready, I'll let you know." So I'll make a extremely long story short, and I was able to get an allocation. I have a VIN number. It's literally like the car is mine. It's a proto spec, and I just got literally a text message today at 3:50. Car will be here today / tomorrow.
No
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, wait
Fuck
up,
yeah.
wait
Yes.
up. Do you know how hard they're bending you over yet?
Oh yeah. I'm getting it for 80 grand.
Okay, that's not the worst.
Okay, so you paid what TJ paid.
That is
Alright.
not
That's not bad.
That's
and
not
you're
bad.
not going to cut
Yeah.
it off. You're not going to cut its body the first day
Right.
you get it.
Right.
So
Right,
that's
right,
so the
right.
proto spec is like 60 G's MSRP, some shit like that, right? Because it's
Yeah.
got the yellow paint and the gold
Roughly.
calipers. And,
Yeah.
okay, I mean you're
Yeah.
paying a 25% MS like bump, but in this market, that's pretty strong. All things, which fucking kills me inside. I'm dying inside having this conversation for the
Yeah.
record because I hate it.
Yeah, I am
I hate
too.
everything about
Yeah.
ADM. I hate ADM. Even when I sold cars,
Yeah.
I hated ADM. I fucking hated it. Right.
You're getting it in automatic, right?
That's
Ooh.
the dilemma that I have. So my other buddy, he took Nissan Roseville's other allocation, right? And so he's got the VIN number. That's his car. It's just his car's not ready yet. His car, the last time we talked, was in Japan in the assembly line
Oh.
getting built.
Okay.
Is a manual. My car's allocation is automatic. I really wanted the manual.
Yeah.
I really, really want the manual. My buddy came in and he actually swooped the manual before I could go in and be like, hey, so when are these going to be ready? Like, let me get an allocation. He was like a day or two ahead of me and got the allocation for the manual before I could. Luckily, he actually called all around the country and he found one and he bought a different one. So now his allocation is up for grabs. So he offered it to me and I'm like, shoot, I don't know what to do here. Like, do I take, do I get mine, which is the automatic,
Get the
and
manual.
start doing,
Get to
Yeah.
Yeah, I get so
Get the
I'm gonna do my best to try to rationally explain this decision to you. If you wanted the
Hey, it's
fastest
all right here.
fucking yep, well that, and if you wanted the fastest fucking car that you could have with a automatic transmission, you already own it. It's that
That's true.
800 horsepower R8, and you're getting rid of it. So
Yeah.
if you're going to downsize in power and slum
the
it
manual.
because you might as well get the most maximum enjoyment out of driving it, which is for sure the manual.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
unequivocally,
And I
you know what I
mean,
mean?
if you do plan to in the future rent it out or sell it, if you ever plan to get rid of it, the resale value on
On
a
the
proto
manual?
spec Z on a
Manual?
manual, way higher
Yeah,
than the
I
automatic.
agree with that as well. Collectability wise,
Yeah.
like I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
if it was a
Yeah.
normal Z, it would be like, oh, okay, automatic or manual. But on a
Yeah.
proto spec, you have to have the manual.
yeah, I
transmission.
agree. I think
And
if
that car
think
is
of
limited production, right? It only made what?
Oh, there's only like
20
240 of the protos.
240.
yeah, bro.
manual
Oh, for
there.
real? If you have
Yeah.
if you have pick of the litter of 2 fucking protos and one of them's a manual, you
Manual.
because
Okay.
Yeah.
because I will
But-
tell you right now that car is probably one of like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are all the same. They're all yellow or yellow. You can either get yellow or yellow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's either manual or automatic is what you're choosing because the proto comes with everything.
Yeah.
So they're all
Yeah.
going to
Right.
be the same.
I just don't.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's tough.
So here's the thing though. Here's why I'm on the fence about it. So I wanted to literally be the very, very, very first person to post the new proto spec on YouTube. Obviously, I missed the bus on that one because they were available in other parts of the country well before they were available in California, and I
Correct, yep.
wasn't really interested in tracking one down in Tennessee or Florida or wherever and flying there and driving it back, or like I wasn't interested in that. So I missed the boat on that one. But I also find a lot of potential value in being one of the first Nissan Z proto spec owners and putting it on YouTube immediately. So to do that, I would have to take the automatic tomorrow, and I can start
Right.
making content immediately.
Lenny's got a
Or
point.
I-
Get both.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. Okay, so let me or I can wait and I can take my buddies, but that one won't be available for a couple months still because it's still like in the assembly. And then they put there was like a recall or a stop on the manuals as well because the manuals were having some type of second gear transmission issue, so they put a stop on those as well.
They're using Mustang transmissions.
I would still say the manual. I would
Yeah.
take. I mean, I'm not you, and I'm not the investor and the business guy, but I would take the 2 months of not having the car on YouTube, and I would still
Well,
take.
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's a
Wait,
really
wait,
important
wait,
distinction.
wait.
Oh, wait up. There's a really important distinction. What are your plans with the car? Because if
Yeah,
your
so,
plan
okay.
for content is purely as an owner's experience, then I agree in the fact that you need the car as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you're
Right.
gonna build it, that's an entirely different show because then the build
Right.
itself will really determine the traction that the content grab. Look at us having a content creator conversation. Look at us, huh? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me. Anyway, I think that you have more legs with a car you're building content wise than a car you own, right? Because you can do like, hey, 6
Yeah.
months with my fucking Z, a year with my Z, 18 months later with my Z. What do I do with the rest of
Right.
the time? But if
Right.
you're actively building a car, I think get the car that you think would be the most exciting to build and own and drive every single day.
Yeah.
Because that engagement that
so-
you have will show in the content, right? So
Right. So that's why and the main reason why I wanted the manual transmission too is because all my cars have been automatic for the last I don't know how many years, and I want that respect of having a manual transmission car. That's a huge part of it. So my other option is get the Z now, right? Get the automatic now. Do a little bit of content with it, build it a little bit. Then when my buddies is going to be available, because they'll know when it's on the ship on its way over, I'll have like maybe 2 weeks.
Flip it.
Sell the Z that I have, flip it, now buy his, and now I had both
I
and
have
was
an
able
idea.
to win-win.
I have an idea.
All right, what is it?
So why don't you buy the one first? By then you'll have an LLC set up. When the new one shows up, sell the one you've already bought to the LLC. Zero capital
As a
gains.
rental.
pay yourself what you paid for it, right? So you don't make any capital gains, so you zero out. Now you can use that as a rental car because that you'll be able to rent a
You'll rent
fucking
the shit out of
and
that.
because it's an automatic, you're gonna minimize your bills as far as repairs because you can't have anybody fucking up the transmission. Now you have a Nissan Z Proto that you can rent, and then you have the one that you want that's a manual, and you got to make content off of it.
That's
That's a good
That's a
idea too. I
fantastic
didn't even
idea.
think of that.
that is a good
I
idea.
didn't even think of that.
This is what happens when you sell
RevMatch,
cars.
take
When you sell
1%.
cars to rich fuckers for a couple years, bro, you learn some things. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
no, there's a lot of people. I remember in that Porsche world, there's a lot of people that do that.
You can even lease.
Yeah.
You can even lease.
going.
This is the best part. You can lease the automatic to the LLC,
Yes, and pay
right?
yourself for it.
And
Yeah.
pay yourself for it. Write it off as a tax write-off, and you can use it as a rental car at the same time.
Yep.
And generate revenue off of it.
Yeah.
You can like triple dip
Yeah.
on that motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I didn't even think of the whole renting.
We
it
do
out
listen.
part
We
of it.
do podcasts. We do T-shirts. We do scumbag financial planning. We do it all, baby. All right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
While,
one
one
stop
while you're
shop.
at it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the RevMatch.
Hey,
Yeah,
look at
there it is.
that. Look at the big brain on Brad.
I mean, yeah, I mean because
Uh,
if you're gonna have if you have a shot at both of those, and you could actually do that and flip it, I mean, you got a car that some people are gonna be seeking after for quite some time that they want
Oh,
to drive.
absolutely.
Yeah.
because,
Plus,
like,
I think the great thing about that specific car, going back to what you were talking about, like about the flip side of renting exotic vehicles, be that you can rent them for so much more than they're worth comparatively speaking, like if you amortize it or whatever, is because the perceived value of that vehicle is so much higher than its actual value, if we call a spade, but there's so much juice around it, you'd recoup that loss from paying that ADM so much faster on a car like that. You know what I mean? With just all the heat
Yeah.
around it, and because nobody can get one and they're marked
Yeah.
up, and it's like, well, I can't buy one. Like I can afford a $60,000 car, but I can't afford a $90,000 car. But I'll rent the $60,000 car for a few days, scratch the itch, get it out of my system, or fuel it and make me go buy my own. And you got to reap all the benefits.
Yep.
Fucking buy them both,
Yeah.
dog. And then worst case
And-
scenario, you end up with two Proto Z's and you fucking slang them afterwards. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You've got
Yeah.
And I mean,
exactly.
it's really smart to do that with the automatic also because, like Alex said, that's less stuff that can break, and it's also more people that can rent the car.
the
exactly.
audience is bigger.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause let's
I'll
be
just
honest,
take
the
I'll take
generation behind
2%.
us
I'll
is
just take
it's-
2%.
it's-
Just
it's
right off
bad.
the top. Just a Z, just a Z, just 2% right off the top. Just
Yeah.
it's like my little, like when you
I'm-
do a Jack in the Box commercial and it pays you 8 cents a day for the rest of your life. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm taking investors. No.
I'll,
that's
I'll
how we work.
invest
All right.
I got like $10 right here.
There were. This
How
is,
many
this,
percent
is this
do
what
I
happened?
get?
Is this what happened? Did you want to come back on
My
the show? You
birthday
could
money.
launch, right? So this motherfucker wanted to come back on the show so he could launch a Ponzi scheme. He's like the
Let's go.
RevMatch Ponzi
yeah.
scheme.
Yeah.
Bernie
That's
fucking
it, yeah.
Madoff over here, dude.
Oh,
No.
So what happens is you buy a part of a car, and then the people below you, if you get them to buy a part of a car, we'll pay you for getting them to pay for part of a car.
And then together, all 20
Oh.
of you will own
With
one
car.
Right.
And then you get 20
Remember-
of their
Yeah.
friends to buy a car.
It's like a timeshare for cars.
Yeah, no, it's
my
like
God.
Herbalife
shit.
for fucking cars. It is.
Yeah.
Fuck,
That's
that's
fucking
funny.
great.
Dude. Oh my god. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of birthday money, Jamal's old as fuck.
Oh.
Hey,
Whoa.
happy birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, old bitch. Look at him.
Little
Thank you, thank
bitch.
you.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, hey, you get into movies cheaper. You get that first shot at fucking Trader Joe's in the morning, right? Only you guys get to shop. Got that going for
Joe's, what the fuck does
Trader
that
Joe's.
mean?
Trader Joe's,
Trader
bro.
Joe's.
You
get-
don't know what Trader Joe's
You
is?
get those elderly
Yes, I
hours.
know, but is there some sort of like
Yeah, the old people get to shop exclusively between 7:30 and 8:30. That way you get home in time for Matlock,
Oh.
right?
That early.
yeah.
You got to get back before Price is Right is on. We don't want to mess with your daytime schedule.
okay.
You know how
And
that
then
goes.
nap
You
at
gotta
9
watch.
o'clock,
Gotta watch your stories. You know what I'm saying? Before you nap.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And then-
know what you're saying.
And then
Look how
the
the
prunes, and then
Check
maybe
your
some
Metamucil.
rosé with the gals. This is
Check
great
your
because he's
Metamucil
actually
today
the
or what?
oldest motherfucker here. Even though he looks younger than all of
Yeah.
us, he is the oldest motherfucker here.
Right.
Wait, him? That guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jamal's
You're
old
like
enough to be your
12.
dad.
thought I was
Damn.
12. Fuck out of here.
But you never came back. I stole that from Alex. That's Alex's normal.
That would explain where he
Yeah.
gets his poor car buying decision making from. Then, never mind.
Hey!
Hey, that makes sense.
Hey.
That makes
Hey.
sense.
Hey,
Yeah, man, I just joined the
car's
army.
You ain't got nothing.
Just joined the
You ain't got
army.
nothing
You know,
for
I
it.
got engaged. I just got this charger, like 27.5%
Yeah,
interest.
28%, 29, 29.9.
Did we talk about this on the show last time? Was this
Yeah, the new M3 or whatever. The
Jeff
M5.
will appreciate this. So this kid bought an M3, M3 comp sedan. It was like forest green,
Yeah.
black, brown interior, black wheels. He was paying 35% interest on like 144 payments at $2,300 a month.
Jeez. Yeah, I saw
was a
like a
literal
meme
comp.
about it.
No, it was real.
Yeah.
That
It's
was real.
real.
That's
It's
real.
real.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here's the
That's terrible.
here's the
Rough. I
craziest
would-
shit to me. The craziest shit to me is that they still
He's
like
got
a bank.
2,300 to pay it.
A bank still wrote a note with a
Yeah.
$2,300 a month payment. Like that's fucking crazy because that means that
Why?
like
Yeah.
because it's so much money and there's a universe where that dude
Dude,
could
the
actually
payment
go.
on my R8 is $1,500.
And that's a twin turbo V10 plus R8, and this guy
Yeah.
got an M3.
That's good
Wow.
credit versus bad credit right there, baby. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Man,
can't
my
go
how
buy.
much-
You said his
payment
interest
was
rate
for
was
that.
what?
It was like 27%. Bro, it was 144
Yeah,
payments. Jamal, 144 payments.
That's,
Didn't you say that's like 14 years or 12 years?
I don't 12 years, yeah.
Too
That's
long. Too
that's
long.
yeah.
That's like a
So long.
1990s Lambo fucking finance scheme right there. That's like you just bought a Diablo.
I
young
financed
is this kid?
my R8 on a 15-year loan.
Good
I mean-
lord.
R8, it's a 15-year loan.
Okay, I have to ask, what's the
not?
rate? What's the rate on that shit? I have to know. Like, if you don't want to tell me it's fine,
6.5%.
that's not bad. I'm
Yeah,
not
6.5%.
mad.
Dude, that's
I'm
not
not
bad
mad.
at all.
Like, I'm not mad. The bank's holding so
No,
much
that'd
money
be
on that
like-
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
But every
so-
time I make a payment, only $500 is principal, and the other 1,000 is interest. So
Well,
that's a little.
That's just
frustrating,
amortization
but-
schedules, and you know that. You know what I'm saying? The bank's like, we're gonna get paid first, and then we'll pay your car note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they approved that other car. There.
You got to get 7.5 years deep, and then you'll really start seeing that principle. You know, really
yep.
start coming down. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I
dude,
feel
my
like
cousin just
Well,
bought
that's
a
the thing.
car for like way too much money, and his mom called me, and I was going through some shit that day, and I was just like, you know what? He's just gonna have to figure this one out. I can't help him.
some
I
point,
can't
man,
help him.
you gotta let him fly. You know, some
Yeah,
peacock cap, you
yeah,
gotta let me
Junior.
fly.
Yeah.
25 years old. All right, fuck it. You
Oh, he's a
bought-
grown
spent
man.
way
He
too
can
much
make
for
dumb
a
decisions
goddamn
on his own.
Impala.
Oh, I remembered this. This fool texted me when this happened. He was like, "Dog, I need your help. What do I say?"
That's
to
how
this
mad
fool?"
I was. I texted somebody. Yeah, I,
You're like,
texted, I was like, dude, what the hell am I? Because I wanted to kill him. I was like, if I call him, it's just gonna be cuss words. It's not gonna be like a conversation.
Meet me at the yard real quick. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Real quick. Just need like 10, 15 minutes, 3 or 4 of your teeth. We'll be fine. Hood problems. Anyway, don't do that. Don't buy a car in double-digit interest rates.
Oh God, no.
No, hell no.
So I've I'm always looking to sell my car. Anyway, I was just like looking through cars.com, and it'll do like the payment estimator, right? And I'm looking
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
like 2017 GX 460s because I've always wanted to overland one of those things. And it's like, you know, whatever the payment is at 15% a month. And I'm like, what?
What?
Huh?
Yeah, that's
Hell
just
no.
cars.
You have
That's
that
just what they're saying. It's like, yep, you should just. And I don't know if it's because the state I'm in, and I don't know. Listen, there's people driving trucks out here, dog, that are mad expensive, and I know they can't afford them. I know for a fact not all these people can afford 2022 F-150 Tremors and F-250 this and that. Not for the amount of people I see driving them. So I don't know what kind of loans they're signing out here, dog. But I feel like they're pretty
Like
savage.
California.
Dirty ones.
Texas, bro, I think these Texas truck loans are pretty dirt. I think they're like, I think they're doing some heavy double digit fucking shit out here, bro. It's Yeah.
Gotta be.
they have, and it makes my stomach turn. Kid financed a 2019 with
Ooh.
18% interest last week in my dealer. 2019
Ooh.
STI 18. You're paying $840 a month? $900 a
Gross.
month almost? Something close to that on a 2019 STI. Way to go, bud.
That
Killing
is
the game.
brutal.
Killing
No
the fucking
thanks.
game. Absolutely crushing it right now.
Fuck, I
Man,
thought
surprised
my
you didn't just
car
do a
payment
3-year
was
loan at
bad.
0%
Fuck,
interest.
that hurts.
Realistic,
Jesus.
yeah, real talk. It's the same shit at that. Damn, Timmy, that's kind of fucked up. I never really thought about that. Okay, so we're obviously buying two Zs, and I say we because it was my
Yes.
idea.
Yeah,
Totally
of course,
my idea.
of course.
So so the R8 goes, the RS5 goes. You have the Z, you have the SQ7.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you just what's the next purchase? Like, because I'm sure if you're going this route,
A GTI.
you're considering real legitimate options for the next vehicle.
Yeah,
What are you eyeballing? Because now
yeah.
you're fucking with
So
big kid shit. So I'm just living vicariously at this point.
yeah, yeah. So there's, I mean, so there's, I'm not 100% sure. So it really depends on how well the exotic car rental business does and if the mortgage and real estate industry picks up again, right? So if both of those start doing really, really, really well, you guys will see me outright purchase some like crazy daily driver. I don't know. I really
Right.
like the R8, but I think a Huracan makes an excellent daily driver too. I like the
STO.
body style a little bit better.
STO
Maybe,
is a fucking
probably
race
not.
car. What are you talking
That
about?
is not
It
a
is
daily
a.
driver.
Are you kidding me? It is a daily driver race car.
I don't believe
Yeah.
you. You've only driven it
it
on
is-
the track. How
somebody-
can you say that? Like, I don't understand how you can say
They don't give a fuck because race car life, bitch.
Yeah,
That's why.
apparently.
That's
Daily
right.
driver.
Yeah. So I think so here's the thing. I think once I buy my next like huge big purchase car to be my personal daily driver, I think I'm actually going to go out and test drive cars because I didn't
That's
test
a good
drive any
idea.
R8s before I bought one. I just was like, it's an R8. I'm going to love it no matter what, right? And so that was it.
Which there's obviously some
I
truth to
didn't
that, but
Yeah, there's definitely a logic. Like the R8, literally, like the transmission shifts so smooth.
Mhm.
It makes the power delivery so smooth that you can't even tell it has 750 horsepower. It feels slower than my 630 horsepower GTR. It feels slower, but it's way faster.
It's less visceral, is
Way
what it is.
faster.
It's
Yeah,
so much
yeah.
more. That's the thing with like luxury power that I noticed a long time
Yeah.
ago. Is luxury power is composed, which is more dangerous,
Yeah,
right?
it
Because you
is.
don't
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like it's gonna
Yeah.
kill you, but it will. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
But it will.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I drove a.
I mean, I had
No, go ahead. I don't know what just happened.
I was gonna say I was just gonna make a comparison like power wise because my GTR I had raced a stock GT 500 and my GTR was full bolt on E85 and we were like window to window but at like 130 the GT 500 started pulling because it had like a little bit more horsepower than I did and
Right.
then just like two days ago or actually on Friday of last week I raced a highly modified GT500 and I put bus lengths on it in the R8. But it didn't feel like that was going to happen. I actually thought I was going to lose because the R8 doesn't feel fast.
Yeah,
And
it's scary, man. That shit's scary. Like that
Yeah.
kind of like,
it is.
dude.
I'm surprised the race was so close on the full volt on 85 GTR with that.
Wait,
I feel
I'm
like
sure.
Yeah, that's true.
In what regard? In what
I mean,
regard?
I feel like you're right. Like on the top end, definitely it should keep up. But I feel like with the twin turbos, the twin turbos, and
Here's the question though. Like you did it from a roll, right? Not a dig. I'm assuming.
Yeah, oh, roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That I mean, all wheel
Yeah.
drive and all that shit. If you're already at
it
50 miles
doesn't
an hour,
matter if you're going
yeah,
40
if you're-
miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, if you're sub four figures, right? So like, if the chance of you breaking loose at 50 miles an hour is diminished by the fact that you're not pushing 1100 rear wheel horsepower, that
Yeah.
fucking GT 500 is gonna get up and go. It's already hooking at 50 miles an hour. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's you're
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
forget all
that
that
they
is.
were that fast.
They're
Oh God,
yeah, they're
Yeah.
fast, dude.
They're
GT
dumb
500's
fast.
been a 200 mile an hour car since like 2014.
Damn.
Think about that shit for a second. And the 2014, so it was that first year they brought back the 5.0, the GT 500 of that year, which I think was 2011, 2012, did 202 miles an hour. That car was like $60,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
My shop foreman has a GT500.
It's a
One of the new
fuckload
ones,
of car.
like a 2020.
Even that's a fuckload of car for
A
$100
lot
grand,
of car.
right?
Yeah.
For $100 grand, it's a
Yeah.
fuckload of car. Not as much car as a C8 Z06, which actually I was gonna say that's what you should fucking pick up, homie.
Yeah.
You can get your hands on a Z06 LT3 full
Yes,
carbon
Yeah,
pack.
okay.
Whew.
So that car stock, I don't know if you guys saw the quarter mile times. It did like a 10.51 stock.
Ooh.
My GTR did 10.58. That was the best I could ever do. It was a
That's fast as
10.58.
hell.
So
It's fast as fuck, boy. You ain't got no shit
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah,
cuz. Got a
right?
goddamn spaceship.
Yeah.
So there's
good.
the
Yeah.
Z06 as an option, or you can get the new piece of shit 4-cylinder turbo C63 AMG. I mean, it's not
Oh,
really a piece of shit. I'm sure it's fucking amazing, but it's a
Yeah.
4-cylinder coming
it's a
from
it's a 4-cylinder hybrid.
yeah, but coming from a car that was built and is known for its noise.
That's not going to be fun.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be as
Yeah.
much fun. No, no. I love the E63 because it was like, here's an M3, right? And then we gave it CTE, and then here's a C63 AMG. That was a football joke. I don't know if anybody got that, but
No,
it was a head
no.
injury reference, chronic concussion. Anyway, you just make
Oh.
it dumber because it was just like, hey, we put a big engine in the front of the smallest sedan coupe thing we make.
Yep.
There
Here you go.
We Andy the fuck out of it. Here you
No. No, the thing was a fucking burnout machine. The Black Series was even more like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they did.
A bad job.
I hate to bring up another podcast thing. We talk about smoking tire all the time, but I was watching one of the episodes and Zach Clapman made a point. He goes, that car is so intrinsically tied to that engine.
Yeah.
Right? To that.
I was watching the same thing.
Yeah, it was the 6.3 before, and then it was actually a 6.2, but they still called it a 6.3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it always had a big nasty V8 in a small car, and now it's just, it'll still be fast. I'm sure it'll still be fast. It'll probably be faster.
I mean, I
Well,
love
sound
that,
like
like,
it's
the video that they posted in that podcast also was like, here, just listen to this sound, and it just drives by and it's like,
Yeah. Hey, there's a Civic
it's
Type
gone.
R just
Nothing.
drove by.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, what was that?
Yes, but
I
did
got
it fast. Yeah, no, but nobody cares now because it's quiet. Yeah, that's
That's
the thing.
right. I got to meet Matt Farah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed cool. I
Seemed
didn't
pretty
meet him.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
seemed
not
pretty
as
cool.
bad as everybody says.
No. The guy was super humble.
Listen, he's just been in the game for a fucking long time, dude. You got to give the
Yeah.
man some slack. He's old and cantankerous. You know what I mean? He's been on how many
Yeah.
fucking press tours and driven how many fucking shit boxes in the canyons trying to grind out this YouTube shit. Like, I'd be a little,
Oh yeah.
I'd be a little bit like, I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't fucking drive those things anymore. Please keep it away from me. I get that too,
Right.
but
Did you get an opportunity to ask him about his one-of-one freaking motor pulled and bored out Boxster Spider?
He was I did not know. I just kind of picked his brain about the podcast a little bit and see what, like, kind of where he started, where he, obviously we know where he's at. He was just kind of offering advice, kind of seemed a little bit in a rush to keep his schedule going.
busy man.
Yeah, he seemed very busy. I didn't press anything, and he kind of, he was nice enough to stop, take a picture, and kind of BS just, a couple minutes, and then, he was gone.
That's
So
all you can ask for, man.
he was super.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool experience.
Someday, Kyle, some little redheaded shithead is gonna come up to you and he's gonna be like, "Hey, Mister, I have an automotive podcast just like you. What do I do?"
Hey,
I'm like, shut up, bitch. Wow.
Listen here, pleb. I don't talk to you dirty GTI drivers anymore. I've moved on.
I'm a higher
Anyway,
class.
Right. Listen, I was trying to honey dick Jeff into buying a Z06 so I could drive it before you guys
yeah,
all
keep
rudely
going, please.
interrupted me with this fucking bullshit we're talking about here.
Here's
Here's
my thing.
miles away. Fuck that.
Here's my
Aren't you in
thing
California?
about the Z06.
Okay.
What's that?
Sorry,
Jeff's
just
in
Yeah. So
California,
my
yeah.
thing about the Z06 is I think the C6 platform, I actually love it a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like it and it looks weird." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they're
I think
idiots.
it looks amazing. My personal
It
preference.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
What
it
do you
looks. I think it looks awesome. I think the Z06 actually looks even better. My
Yeah.
problem is for 140, 150, $160,000 that the Z06 is going to go for. I could get. There's so many choices, right? Like, do I really
yeah.
want to buy that car and then be like, "Hey, look at my $150,000 Chevy"?
Yeah.
See,
That's the
listen.
part that.
Wait up. Name me one faster, other than a fucking Tesla. Name me one faster car for that money. That's
I mean, it may
mid-engine,
not be
rear-wheel drive.
faster, but I would get a 991.2 GT3.
That's not the
That's
point
not
that
cheaper.
he's going with.
That's not cheaper.
That's not cheaper.
That's almost twice as much.
I mean, the thing is like
And
You don't want to
a
say that number,
991. A
and then that
991
is
is
probably
brand
like
Yeah.
right
after
around
it.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. So I could literally buy a Z8, the C8 Z06, and your entire S4 for the cost of that one car. This is what Chevy's been doing for a
Yeah.
minute, which is for any of their performance car flaws, of which they are numerous, right? C7 Z06 overheated, ZR1 had traction issues and couldn't be sold basically anywhere other than the United States. You can't see out of the Camaros, whatever. Pure performance per dollar, Chevy's had that shit hammered out for like almost 10 years,
Yeah.
right? You're hard
Yeah,
pressed to find a
absolutely.
cheaper, faster
Absolutely.
car, period. I think
Yeah,
that
best bang for your buck for sure.
right, and I think that
It's just a lot of buck. You know what I mean?
it's getting to be more and more buck, but when you still again compare it to like that Z06 is probably faster than your $350,000 Huracan.
Oh yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
right. So there's a $200,000 performance delta that you somehow have to mentally equate, and it's like, well, it's Italian, and the
Here,
interior. I
let
got
me,
to pick the cow they made the interior from. I guess. You know what I mean?
here, I
Which
just
huge flex. Don't mind.
Send you a
Saying.
catalog of cows.
Yeah, this one's name was Bessie. Yes.
Right.
I like
I
that
just
red
wanna-
one standing on the
Wrong
hill, all
accent.
majestic like.
I just want to let you guys know that I am correct if I use my favorite website, Bring a Trailer.
Oh,
I've
fuck
got
off.
a 991
Ah.
GT3 for 125K, another 991 GT3 with only 3,000 miles for 190K, another GT3
190.
for 140K.
You went from 125
For
to
three-
190.
3,000 miles.
Yeah.
If you're not getting a brand spanking new GT3, they're all selling for about 140.
Hey,
exactly
check this
what
out though.
said.
I can spend 140 and get a Corvette that nobody's ever farted in but me,
Yeah.
and it'll be faster,
You can't guarantee that.
and it will sound
You
better.
can't guarantee that.
It will
can't-
sound better. You cannot
the
tell me that.
technician that PDI'd it might have already driven it past the speed limiter.
Listen, the technician that PDIs the C8 Z06 is listening to fucking Freebird drinking Jack Daniels, smoking a fucking cigar while he's PDIing the car, and I will not hear another word of it. It happens in every single one of them, right? They don't pass inspection.
Absolutely.
They don't pass inspection.
If she can't hold traction when that solo kicks in, it ain't right for the street, my bro.
Which solo? Number 1, 3, 7, or like 24?
You know, the one, dude. Come on.
The first one.
No, the one what everybody says play Freebird for. Also, if you've any kind of musician, fuck the guitar solo in Freebird. Listen to the bass track in Freebird. That shit'll
Yeah.
blow your fucking mind. That guy's shredding. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, for real, buy a Z06 so I can drive it. It'd be tight. Appreciate it. Good looking out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What if I buy a Z06 and I rent it out in your neighborhood?
So what I think, no, honestly, I think that like I was just gonna say there's something to be said for like where you rent the car. Like
Yeah. Oh,
I think because C8 Z06, you're generating tons of revenue in like Jersey, Florida, Texas, basically the entire Bible Belt, and then like Arizona, Central California, like Southern Desert, California, anywhere you can really rip it, and people love America, right? I don't think that car plays as well in New York because, to your point, it's a Chevy, right? You're not.
Right,
Nobody's
right,
impressed
yeah.
if you push through Manhattan in a fucking Corvette. Doesn't matter how nice of a vet it is, unless it's vintage, right?
Mm.
But if
Right,
you're on,
yeah.
dude, but if you're in Miami or you're in Fort Lauderdale, and you've got a neon green fucking Targa top Z06 with a fatty fucking wing on the back,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
It's pretty badass.
The John Daly
There's a dude
mobile
in
front to
Culver
back.
City that rents his out every day. I mean, every Saturday.
Yeah. Make a cool
Blue one.
$600-700.
Every
Just me.
Saturday, I see him pull up to the park. Somebody else like gets dropped off by an Uber or some shit. They fucking shake hands. Boom, and then he's gone.
That's it.
Tight.
Free money. Paid his gas bill for the whole month.
Every fucking weekend, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the only thing with the luxury car market that I think that like maybe you're really coming in at the right time is that performance is getting so expensive. And
Right.
it's so niche and it's so enthusiast driven that they're hammering the fuck out of ADM because they know they can. Because the guys like us who really want the shit, if we don't have a choice, we'll pay for it, right? Like at the end of the day, like
Right.
I won't pay if I have a choice, but if I don't have a choice, I'm just looking for the guy who's
Yeah.
fucking me the least. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'll scour the country for I only
Yeah, pretty much.
right. It's like buying a
Sure.
Raptor 5 years ago. Like, I went to Utah, so I only paid 5 over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the same type of shit. So I think maybe you're coming in at the right time because we're gonna have fewer and fewer of those cars coming out. I mean, Ferrari's going 40% all electric or some shit by like 2025,
Yeah.
right? So it's, I mean,
That's sad.
Lambo's going the same way, and when everybody
Aren't they done
forget,
with the V12?
everybody's done with V12s.
R8's going bye-bye.
Everybody's done with
Yeah,
V12s.
all right, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is actually interesting because I'm really interested to see, because now Lambo is the only reason why you'd have a V10, right? So as of right now, there's some shared development between like the Huracan V10 and the R8 V10, right? The blocks are basically the same. The head designs are a little different. Tunings are a little different, that kind of shit. But largely the architecture is the same. So they share the cost. So now that
Mhm.
there's no R8 anymore, I would not be shocked to find out that the next Huracan's a V8 twin turbo. Like, I don't think you'll see, which then is really sad because that means we lose the Daza.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah. That'll
Right.
suck.
So now you're going back to, they'll do the same shit. They'll chop the fucking, the V8 twin turbo in half and make like, because that formula works. You know what I mean? Just make a half sleeve engine block, use the same head, all that shit, all the parts move. And that's one of the big things that VW has going for them as a group is like, I can make a really powerful, smaller engine. I just only have to design a new block. I don't have to do everything else, right? All the rotating assembly will work as long as I can chop this block in half. And I think that the next logical step is that the V10 goes, the Daza goes, and it's 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder turbos. And then you see the 8-cylinder turbos go the way of the Buffalo, and you're doing 4-cylinder turbos plus hybrids like what Benz is doing.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's a wrap, dude. That's it. You know what I mean? So, which
Yeah.
is crazy because like 5-6 years ago, Lambo debuted a hybrid concept, and they were like, it's just a concept. We're never going to do this. We're never going hybrid. We'll always have a V12. Fast forward.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think if you buy those really exotic cars that make all the noises and are really super special now, I think that you're smart because you'll have legs in the game because they're going to get harder to get. They're going to be more rare. There's less and less usefulness and support for them on a daily basis. So more and more people are going to want that experience, and they'll pay $1,700 for a couple of days or one day to play around. You know what I mean? Rather than buying.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. And the price can go up too as they become more and more rare too, like 2,000 a day.
That's true.
Because I saw some other guy who's got an exotic car rental business, and he rents his out for like 2,000 to 2,500 a day.
Yeah, depends on the car, depends on the region.
A
You know what I'm saying?
day.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
So like, the Huracan?
I know the
is-
weekend hike is crazy.
I mean, surge
Yeah.
price that motherfucker. So it's 350.
Yeah.
So did you do the
3,200 for Saturdays, fucker.
fucking people will pay it? That's the thing. And this is where like I see the flip side of ADM is
Especially
like,
people
listen,
coming from out of town to like Los Angeles. Yeah, they'll definitely.
which is so funny because like if you've ever lived in LA, like nobody really fucking cares what you drive, but whatever.
No. Didn't you have a fucking? Wasn't there a guy that lived in your apartment complex in Alhambra that drove a goddamn Maserati?
No. He drove a fucking Aston. Check this shit out. So when I was living in
Aston
a
Martin. That's
I
right.
was living in an apartment in Alhambra, California, which
Laugh
is
at his ass every day.
dude. So I literally my apartment was fine. I was in the San Gabriel Valley where like you fucking piss in the wrong direction and you're in the hood, right? Like that's kind of like where it was in that general region. Really quiet where I live, but very easy to be in a not great neighborhood. And this dude lived in a pretty not great apartment building, brand new V12 Vantage.
Wow.
We didn't have garages, we had like the gates, right? So like everybody had a spot, but it was like sliding gates that would like block each other's shit. So you're still parking next to somebody, and just right there in the front, you just see V12 Vantage, brand new V12 Vantage, just chilling in some
You had
shitty.
to get out and open the gate yourself too. It wasn't
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
we
Oh
just
come
got
on,
a
bro.
button or some
Listen,
shit. No.
yeah. And there was no.
And Alex's driveway was janky as shit.
Yeah, I know. My ex
Your
totaled my
driveway
car
was
because of that
just
shit.
fucking.
Yeah. So there was like these. This is a little tangent for a second, but there was these like vine bushes, like in between the driveways coming in and out of. So imagine a 3-story building, and then there's 2 driveways that go underneath, and like the parking is all the bottom level, and the apartments are the second and third level, right? So as you come in and out of these driveways, there are these big vine bushes, and the sidewalk kind of stays flat, and then the ramp goes down, and there's the bush is like a foot or 2 high. Well, I had an RSX, so it was already kind of low. My ex was like 5'1". So anyway, she's pulling out of this shit, doesn't see the car coming because she apparently can't see it, and just gets fucking banged into, dude, at like 30 miles an hour, just straight T-bone. And I get a call, and like from my ex-girlfriend's number, and I answer the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And it's some dude, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "No." He's like, "Your girlfriend's just been in a car accident." And I was like, "Oh shit." And first I was
How's
like,
my car?
"How's my car?" First words out of him. He's like, "It's not great, dude." I was like, "Shit." And I get there, and like she got hit so hard it popped the axle out of the transmission. And so there's a whole front wheel just like hanging with just the axle, like full complete CB joint, just like completely pulled out of the transaction, just sitting there. And I was like, well, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, thanks for bringing up that really painful part of my life, Jamal. I really appreciate that. Thanks for getting me to relive that
Yeah, no
live on
problem,
the
man.
air. Yeah, man. Just
Yeah,
don't know what I'd do
appreciate
without
you.
you. This is
I
when it's
appreciate
good to
you,
really
Jamal.
have the people that know you from like back in the day around, right? So they can just spit and piss on those really old wounds that you thought were closed. And then, yeah, you go back and look at how much
Appreciate you,
RSXs they're pulling for still today. And, anyway, cool, man. Great talk. Thanks, bud.
You got into 240s after that. It was
Yeah,
all
one of
good.
those got stolen. You want to talk about that too? Or like, what's
Damn.
up?
You have to graduate from Honda.
Apparently, you need to talk about this. I mean, let's have this conversation, sir.
Listen, we brought Jeff
Fucking
though.
A.
We can do car therapy later. When I
My
tell
God,
when I tell you
still
guys
bitter.
what I'm planning to do on Saturday. So
I did forget to say earlier that Kyle and I did go to a car show last weekend. Just saying.
Yeah.
oh yeah, you
Oh, we
guys went
did.
to Stockton.
Yeah,
Modesto.
Modesto.
Meth.
Modesto.
Oh, you went to Modesto. That's right.
Yeah, even farther.
That's yeah.
Tell Heisenberg I said what up. Also, shout out to the fine folks, both of you in Modesto.
Bro,
How was
like,
that?
It
Yeah.
was actually a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
That's what she said. Sorry, Mike.
We
Dude,
got there
hey.
way too fucking early. Way too fucking early. But we got good spots. Kyle.
We did. You got, man, on the drive there, you got cut off so many times. It made me nervous.
That's
I was
depressing.
I was like,
That's
I was
GTR
getting,
things.
that was GTR. I was like, I'm not even
Skyline
driving
things,
it.
because somebody's gonna fucking be like, you can say they're about
Whatever.
GTRs, but only one's a Skyline, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever.
Anything cool out there? Did you guys see anything cool other than Mike's GTR?
R34.
Yeah.
Bayside Blue. Motor X.
That's
Yo,
when-
hold the
That's
fuck.
when
Wait
the
up,
R33
Yes.
was done.
Yeah.
Jeff, buy an R34. No, real talk. That's a license to print money. That is a license to
Yeah.
print money. Like,
That is.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
you're
one day.
The problem is, like, for a clean one right now, it's gonna be more than his R8.
yeah, no, you're in
Oh, yeah.
250s. You're in 250s, 300s for sure. But I think
And
you
if
can.
it was going to be for the rental company, I would not trust people driving my
You know what?
R34.
Actually,
Oh,
that's a
God,
great. No, that's a great.
Hell no.
No, that's a great
No.
point. No, that
No.
actually is a
Hell
great
no.
point. No, because I was just thinking about it. I was like, dude, you
No.
could rent that shit out for like 4,500 a day, and people would pay it, right? Like people.
no.
No.
I rent
No.
my shit.
Yes, they
Still
have you.
no.
No,
Yes,
I'm saying they
people
would.
pay it.
They would pay it. I
Oh,
want you to
people
go
would
look,
pay
dude. Look at there's a.
No. I'm saying people would pay that, but I
But it's
would
not
not
worth
let
it.
anybody
Yeah,
drive
no.
that.
I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it would be
so-
until I
worth
thought
it.
about trying to repair that thing and realizing how expensive parts are on that car. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I know I'm getting
Yeah.
nervous. I'm
Yeah,
getting
it's-
They even
nervous.
exist.
exactly. See,
But there was a
They're gonna hit
Bayside
something.
Blue R34 that was a Motor X car that they saved from getting crushed. And gosh damn, that car was clean as hell.
Super nice.
I read the description of parts and stuff. That guy, that's a fucking $400,000 car.
can we ju- can
like,
and
it
Jeff,
was
let me get your
dumb.
input on this too, Jeff. Can we all just agree that Lenny obviously has brain damage for the amount of hate he gives on an R34? Can we just
Correct.
come to you? Can we, us and the internet and basically literally everyone else on the planet who isn't Lenny, all
I
come
don't
to
even
the
think Lenny's in the
agreement?
chat anymore.
I don't even care. I just want
He's
this.
been coming and going.
I just want it to be very clear that he is objectively wrong about the R34.
Correct.
I don't even
but I
like
feel
JDM like
I
that,
feel
and I
like,
respect R34s.
Yeah,
I feel like
The
in
wagon?
the GTR world,
yeah.
you have your
Stages.
groups, right? Like everybody loves an R34. Some people love an R32 for the most part. What
It's
I
the
have,
OG.
everybody fucking is like the redheaded stepchild. The R33 is like out here in fucking no man's
It's
land, right? But,
true.
like, it's true,
Yeah.
but like what you see in the movie is what you fall in love with, and that's what you see in the fucking movie. And like for me, as much as Lenny hates on it, I don't give a fuck. I love an R34. But even Kyle and I were sitting there talking about it, like something didn't look right on the front end of that car. Like something was weird. I don't know if it was the headlights were off. Something.
Tongue. Watch
Kyle,
what you say.
Kyle, listen to this. Like we were,
Don't
we
hold your
walked
tongue. I
past
want to
it,
hear it.
we walked up to it. I'm like,
It was
something's
Some
not
was
right.
a little
Like,
weird.
Did you
Yeah.
So-
take pictures? Did you take pictures?
Yeah, I got it on the GoPro. I haven't downloaded it yet.
So, I mean, I think it's if you look at it, yes, there's
not
obvious
perfect.
there's obvious flaws in its design. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it looks like a big two-door sedan. Like it's weird. It's got like a weird proportion, but that long flat nose with like the snub nose shit, that was Japan's like fucking shit for like 20
Yeah.
years, right? Sylvias,
Yeah.
Chasers, Soarers, you know what I'm saying? R34s and Crestidas and fucking Stage It. They all had that long, flat fucking hood, snub nose shit going on. And that vibe is like really popular. You look at like notchback Fox bodies, right? Or like, right? Like the same type of shit. Like it's that flat front and rear, flat trunk, flat front shit that like really gets people juiced up. And that,
I sent it to the IG.
what other car?
Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe it was just the angle we looked at it, but like this is what we looked at on Saturday.
All right, let me bring this up here.
We
Of
may
course,
have
he
been
got
drinking.
the number
You're-
one award.
I'm
You
looking
remember
at
back in the day when people would like convert cars, like they would
Yes.
convert like a Honda into like a BMW and a Mercedes and shit.
yes, I do. Unfortunately, we don't talk about that often. There's nothing wrong with this car. You guys are both idiots.
I know.
Anyway,
So
You don't
I
know,
saw a
man. You
guy
weren't
do
there.
and it was perfect proportions. He took an Acura Legend and turned it into a R34.
oh, I've seen
The
that.
two-door Acura Legend.
Yeah, I've
was
seen
the
it.
exact. I was like, "What?" He's
They're
like, "Yeah,
almost the
pretty
same
much
size.
Same size car.
It's almost the same
What
size.
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
honestly, if you put a picture of them like
Blew
next to
my
each other,
mind.
if you put a picture of the front
Same
ends of
body
both
lines
of
and
those, yeah,
everything.
it's really close.
Yeah.
You don't look at things too
Why are
closely.
you doing this to me?
Yeah,
Jamal?
you don't.
Why the fuck are you doing this to me right now?
Don't
Like,
let him get in your head. Don't let him do
you
this to you.
understand what kind of rabbit hole I'm now gonna fucking dive down for the next fucking like
Dude,
3
listen,
days
Japan was
fucking
listen. Do
looking
you
at this
remember
shit?
the
Oh,
do you remember
man.
the 911 front ends on FDRX7s and
That shit was cool though.
was it? And then you
I think it was. Fuck
Yes. I think so. Yeah.
You thought so
The
too? All right.
FD-R7s are the shit.
Yeah, but with the
Yeah.
911 front end on it though, have you seen those?
Yes.
Jeff, have you
Like,
seen this?
well,
I don't think I've seen those.
I'll look it up.
I mean,
right
are you
now.
talking about like literally
Yes.
taking an
Yes.
literally taking
Yes.
an FD
Yes.
and literally removing a 911
Yes.
front end and physically putting? Okay, no, I've never seen that before.
All right.
Yes.
Are you
thought
do
it
you
was
have
sick.
the Twitch channel up right now? Because I'm about to show it on the internet right here.
I don't even have Twitch.
You just go to twitch.tv/RevMatch podcast and
You
just
just have to go on the website. Yeah.
mute
Like
it.
and subscribe.
Anyway, for everybody
Is it
who's actually
Twitch.tv what?
/RevMatch podcast and then mute it because it will.
Yeah, I thought that thing
Dude,
was sick.
That shit's tight.
I'm
I'm not against that.
in
That's
retrospect,
ugly.
it does look way better than I remember it looking.
The
I prefer
white, I like the white probably the best.
Yeah, not that one. That one.
No.
It's gotta be the white. It's gotta be the white.
No,
No.
No, but I like that.
No.
I think that's sick.
I
Okay,
mean, like
wait.
it looks good, but I'd still rather have it be just
I-
a stock RX-7 FD.
I would agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think it looks cool, but I would wait. Yes.
That or this.
I would
Oh,
totally
that or
get
this.
Veil
Why are
side
you
kit.
gonna do this? Oh,
That or this.
Yeah, Veil side all day, all
my
day.
heart.
yeah.
So wait, real talk.
Yeah,
Look
I'm
at this
doing
blue.
Bell side.
Look at this blue, and this blue Veil side kit this car has been around forever. Look at this and tell me it doesn't look like a 720S. Like something about it, like just triggers that like 720S
I feel
Little
like
bit.
it kind of looks like a Lotus,
a little bit too.
like a
yeah,
like a
that's a good one,
'90s
too.
Lotus.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, look, Nardo Gray. Brave
Right.
choice,
Right. Nardo.
dude. I'm so fucking
like
over. I'm so fucking over Nardo Gray right now. I'm so
Everybody's
done with.
doing it.
I'm done with
Yeah.
grays. I'm done with grays. I'm done with whites. I'm done. Okay, that comes out.
The new
way
Z
worse
looks
than
really
it.
good in
Yeah.
Boulder Gray.
Wow. Wow.
Racist. I love Nardo, but it's just been played to death. Same with Chalk. I love Chalk, but it's like it's just been
The
beat into the
issue
ground.
is that they started putting it on everything. They put it on the SUVs. They put it on the sedans. They put it on.
Well, and then
every
like
single
pleb
car.
brands caught onto it because you can get like a fucking
Yeah.
Hyundai Elantra and like a fucking Nardo
Yeah.
Gray. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It, like just really takes all the fun
Terrible.
out of
You
it.
can
The
wrap
Kia
a car
Stinger.
Nardo Gray now too.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have
exactly.
their alarm, sure.
I mean, just listen. Which, by the way, is a super nice car these days. I don't know if you guys have seen a new Hyundai Elantra.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Oh,
one
yeah.
drive by and I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, everything on the road makes me feel poor anymore. Anything that's been built like 21 or 22, everything's got full LED headlights and all this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a Honda Civic. But all right.
Yeah.
We've really stepped our fucking game up. So we're gonna get to wrapping this shit up. But Jeff, if somebody wants to rent your Huracan Evo, where would they
Yeah.
go? If they're in New York and they want to
they
rent a
would-
Huracan Evo.
Yeah, so the best way to do it is actually to hit me up on Instagram and I'll make it happen. So I don't know the exact website because the way that the company works is majority. Excuse me, I can't even talk right now. They do it through like word of mouth, right? So like
Okay.
it's a lot of like friend to friend transactions or like colleagues or just like other people that they know. So if you wanted to rent it, the best thing would be to just hit me up on Instagram, R8_burnt rubber, and just let me know, like, hey, I'm in New York. I want to rent it, you know, this day, and this day.
Can I
or
ask
just
you a serious
whenever,
question?
And then I'll make it happen.
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
serious question? Are you using this rental company
Sure.
as a front to mule cocaine around New York? Because that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Because it's like, listen, we don't call you, you
Yes.
call us,
Yes.
and there's no website
Yes.
or there's no app.
There's no
And,
website.
right, just hit me up.
No, so
Let me
you
know
can
what-
go
Yelp.
to.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna leave a Yelp
You
review.
can.
I was up for
you can
hours. I
go
mean, the car
to-
was
let me
great.
find it. Let me find it.
You don't ask about Fight Club.
That's right.
Yeah. First rule of renting Jeff's Lambo is you don't ask about renting Jeff's Lambo.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
Bitch.
All right, so CorsaAutoRental.com.
CorsaAutoRental.com. I will even, you know what? Just to help plug your shit, I'm even going to look it up. Oh, actually, it pops up. Like it's like the first. Yeah, it's like the first one.
It's
Yeah,
legit.
it's like
Yeah.
legit.
Verified. Alex
No,
verified.
it is. Yeah, no. Okay, I take back all my cocaine references. Oh, you get 5% off your first
I mean,
rental
we
if you
still do.
join.
We still do that though.
Yeah, you're like, listen, guys, wait up. We move balls around here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a Eve. Oh, is that you? Oh no, that's a. All right, let's see if we can
Yeah.
find Jeff's car. Let's see if we can do this. What color
It's
is your
not on
car?
there yet.
Oh, it's not on there yet.
It's gray, but it's not on there yet.
So like, this is a peak. As we wrap this up, this is a peak point of disrespect. Lamborghini Huracan, 24-hour special, $1,250. C8 Corvette, which is faster, $750 for 24 hours. The disrespect is palpable. And $950 for an AMG GT, which is the slowest of the three. Disrespected to that.
Yeah, but it's class.
I don't
Right.
think that C8 Corvette is faster than the Huracan. That base.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
on the
that I'm pretty
Z06,
sure
it's
the
just
base. No, I'm pretty sure the base C8 is fast because they tested. If I remember
The
correctly,
base.
is not the base 458 faster than a base Huracan?
I don't think so. No.
Am I wrong here? Because I know the
I
C8
don't
is
know.
faster than a base 458.
Hold on.
Because I know that was one. Like I know the base Huracan and the base 458 were
So
the
All right, we
benchmarks
got
for the
So
C8.
there was
0 to 60 for C8 Corvette base.
2.9.
Maybe that's the Z06.
no. I think that's the. I don't know. Maybe that is the Z06. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But they
think
did a
it's
race. They did a race between the Z06 and a Huracan, and the Z06 just gapped the Huracan. But I don't
mean,
think.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a gap. I think the Z06 would gap the non Z06 way more than it gapped the Huracan.
Interesting. Well, you can buy both
I
and
could
we
be
can
wrong.
race them, and then we can objectively determine. I'm
I'm
basically
not
trying
trying
to.
to.
I'm trying to get Jeff to be like our content sugar daddy. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet.
I like it. I like it. I'm not gonna lie though. I don't want to just like stick on Porsches all the time, but I think you need to add a 911 turbo to that fleet.
Yeah, I've never been like a Porsche guy. I'd have to drive one. Actually,
They're
I have
amazing
driven
to drive.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I owned
Yeah.
one Porsche. I had a 1986 924S.
It's nice.
You
but that's
own the
wrong
biggest
one to
crap
own.
they ever fucking produced, like literally, and
No,
that's what you're gonna
no.
judge it on.
Think you know someone. You
No,
know,
no,
you think
no.
you know a
Wow.
guy.
Yeah.
That wasn't. No. Check this out. It was an S, a 924S.
It
So
don't
it
matter.
was
It's a
924.
924.
Said
That
it
thing
was
was a
an S.
pile of shit. It
Dude,
was a
that
pile
car-
of shit.
No,
He
dude.
said
That
it
car had
was-
a 924. It had a 924 body with a 944 engine. Come on, dude.
Nope.
This man just said, "Yeah, I drive a BMW 318, but it's a TI though. It's a TI though."
Hey, true story. My first car was a 389, 1984.
Oh my god.
Cars you should have.
hell yeah.
Cars you should have held.
Come
Cars
together.
you should have held for the record.
Right? That car
Cars
gets
you
Yeah.
should. Yeah,
money.
dude.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
That's
I shouldn't
amazing.
have crashed it. That would have been worth more.
When you said you're gonna be doing some test driving, go do a test drive. Drive a 911 turbo. It is an amazing
Yeah.
car, and people
I-
will rent that car.
I don't necessarily
Yeah.
agree with you. I don't
Bruh.
necessarily
What?
agree with. I don't.
Have
I
you
don't.
gotten to drive one for 4 days?
It's not
No.
exotic enough.
Thank you.
Dude,
Thank
I
you.
love that.
No,
thing.
it's not.
Yeah,
No, I'll tell
I
you
don't think
why.
it's exotic
It
enough.
looks too much like a regular 911. If it was the new GT3 with the ridiculous
I
body
mean,
kit and the
that's-
fatty
yeah.
wing and all the fucking nonsense, and yeah, it looks like you're
Telling you,
driving a fucking
RS.
Batmobile.
Taste
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, you're driving a fucking Batmobile. But a regular 911 turbo just looks like a 911 with a wide body and a front lip, homie. Like it doesn't look that special, like
I mean,
from the
that's
outside.
that's true.
You buy a 911
Alex
turbo because you're
is-
smart enough to know how good that car is, but you don't
Yeah,
rent one because it's
yeah.
not exciting enough. You know what I'm saying?
The verdict is that the base model Chevy Corvette is 0.1 seconds slower than the Huracan.
Okay.
You got
For half- for-
2.8 0 to 60 in a Huracan, 2.9 in a Corvette, and 2.6 in the Z06.
So for the
Okay,
record,
but
though,
what's the
That's
quarter mile time though?
$300.
Because the 0 to 60s don't really mean anything unless you
Let's
have
see
like perfect
here.
conditions.
I would also like to point out that a base C8 is $70,000 and a base Huracan is $275,000.
You're looking at 10.4 quarter mile for the Huracan.
Okay.
That's not just right on my screen.
Faster, Timmy, faster.
Faster.
Ah!
Furiously Googling.
Don't miss out.
That's 10.6. 10.6. You have
So
the Chevy
0.1
is
second to close.
0.2
Yeah.
slower.
Yeah. I mean, dude, come on, for $205,000 less than I'm 0.2 of a second slower, I can buy 0.2 for a lot cheaper than 200 racks. That's for sure.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
I'm just saying that's some disrespect. You know, when you're going from 1,200 to fucking 750 for 0.2.
Is it worth $300?
You know what I'm saying?
It's the same point when you buy a car. A Corvette's not exotic enough to rent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Only a Z06. I wouldn't rent a C8 either. I'd rent a Z06 though. I'd rent a C8 Z06. Dude, flat plane crank V8, listen, most powerful naturally aspirated V8 ever. Period. Point blank in a sentence.
Yeah, but
Ever, yeah,
gearhead. I'm just
yeah.
talking in general.
No, that's what I'm saying. A normal C8, I agree with you. I do not think it's special enough to rent. I don't think it is. It's just not. Like, it doesn't pull enough. They don't even look that cool going down the road, right? Like, they look kind of raked up. They look
They're
a
like
little 4x.
awkward.
Yeah,
I'd rent a Viper before I rented that.
exactly. Yeah, I would. That's a great
I'd
point
rent
too.
a Ford GT before I rented that.
Also fair.
Yeah,
I'd rent
100%.
honestly, real talk, I'd rent a Ford GT 500 before I rented a vet. Because at least that
Yeah.
thing's rowdy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? GT 500 is rowdy as fuck. C8 Corvette's pretty precision instrument. You know what I'm saying? The Z06 adds that little, it's got the carbon, the big wing, it's got the flat plane crank, dude. And a real flat plane crank.
Yeah.
Not that bullshit they did with the Voodoo engine and the GT350. This is a real flat plane crank V8. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
throwing
Like,
me information that as a renter, I don't give a fuck about. Like, I'm not trying to impress the
no,
ladies at Starbucks.
purely
Like,
because
yo, bro,
the
I got a
sound.
flat
Purely because the
plane
sound.
crank.
No,
Like,
the
I don't
flat plane
care.
crank makes but it makes that sound. It gives you that wah, that F1 sound, right? That's where you get that from.
Mhm. Yeah,
And all the intake
Yeah.
noise and all that shit, like that comes from the
Yeah.
flat plane crank, and that's what will draw people in. And the fact that it's fast as shit. So yeah, base Corvettes are boring. They always have been. I'm sorry. If I'm buying a vet, it's a Z06 or at least a Grand Sport, and then I put a blower on it, and I basically have a Z06. Same
Pretty
car.
much.
And on that bombshell,
Okay.
we're gonna call it an evening. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Go rent
Thanks,
Jeff's Huracan so that we can honey dick him into buying a Z06. The GTR shirt is coming. Progress has been slowish on the design, but we're trying to make it perfect for you guys. So we'll show you some more of that as soon as we can. I mean, we have some teaser images, we have some rough renders, but they weren't exactly what we want you guys to see. We want you guys to get hyped about this shirt because this shit's gonna be sick. So we're gonna wait till it's dialed in a little bit. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. As always, damn, it's a couple of weeks right before Halloween.
I'm gonna be in Vegas
What week?
Halloween.
Oh wait,
So
that's
the
literally
30th.
the first. That's the first.
Oh, I'll be home.
Do we do it? Do we be dickheads and do like the one day after Halloween episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wear a costume. I've done dumber shit for less money. Think
I'll wear
about
a
that because
costume.
I'm not even getting paid to be here. But so think about that shit for a second. Who
Buying his
knows?
own at this point.
Who knows? We'll figure it out. But we appreciate you guys hanging out. Go check out R8_burnt rubber. Go rent that Huracan. Check out his content. He's got 1, maybe 2 sweet proto Z's popping off in the future. And like I said, we'll be back in a couple weeks with some more interest on merch, some more shit. A whole bunch of shit went down in Formula Drift this end of this season that we need to go down in. It was one of the crispiest ends of the season in a long time. There was rain, there was crashes, there was wild shit. There was Frederick Osbo just putting it down on
Glad
the
I
fucking
watched.
bank on
I saw
Irwindale, the front to back, left to right.
Jesus.
Guy's a goddamn animal. And now tied for the most championships in history of FD next to James Dean, who, if you've ever seen that motherfucker drive, he doesn't miss ever.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers, the Lewis Hamilton of drifting. Shit's wild. So we'll talk about that on the next episode. Until then, drive safe, be good, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace out, guys.